Hello, my beautiful Virgos. How are you, my darlings? So this is the big day. We have the solar eclipse. I'm going to try to get through this and the rest of the videos without my voice cracking or giving out on me. If I don't get to do the other videos, those signs of that are, if you happen to be watching and you're one of those signs that I haven't gotten out, if I don't get them done before the solar eclipse, I will do my best to do them in the next day. My voice keeps going out on me, so I can't help that. Welcome, all you new ones. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the modern day spiritual advisor. I use multiple modalities, including tarot, astrology, mediumship, hypnotherapy, energy healing, all kinds of stuff to help you on your path. So this is going to be, this is a different format, my Virgos, and I know how I like things organized. And what happened was, because my South Node is in Virgo, was I was trying to get all the aesthetics right and it looking good, and then I had to get over myself. I had to be like, okay, it's not about you, it's about them. Just get the information out. But now my voice is cracking, and so this is why it's taking me so long. So here we go. So this solar eclipse is happening. Partial solar eclipse. It's going to take you to almost 0 point energy. There's a lot of energy there. So what it does is it'll launch you into where you're focused, your intention is, right? So where's your conscious? What are you thinking? Where's your focus? Where's your intention? So when this eclipse happens in a little bit, you want to be thinking about the things that you want, the goals that you have, the place that you see yourself, not how this was done or how it wasn't done right, or how, you know, how you can get into that critical thinking. Don't do that. Okay. Because it's what it does is it's going to take you to that energy and it's going to launch you wherever your intentions are at. So be sure. This is why I have the new moon video and the full moon video, and I'll have the links to everything below. If you can remember what you were doing 6 months ago, these things are going to be prominent again. Okay, if you haven't finished or completed, they're going to be prominent again. Now, when I'm looking at your chart, and this is the reason for the different format, is because I wanted you to kind of see how I put things together. Just a little bit. I mean, it's not going to be too much, but I am going to go over some of the major planets of what's going on. So if we look at yours, let me say this. In the lunar eclipse that we just had in Leo, whatever was happening there, and I feel for you guys because you guys you had that lunar eclipse in your 12th house. So I kind of feel like a lot of you had some jarring stuff happen, some destiny happen, good and bad. What do you consider good and bad? So your life may have been changing. It may have already started, and in a big way for some of you, because you're talking about that 12th house is karmic, destiny. If you don't want to think about that, past lives, you can think about it as the things that you wanted to experience, definitely wanted to experience in this lifetime. So they come through no matter what you're doing. When it's time for it to come through, it'll come through and it'll happen. Okay? This is not about belief. This is about it being on your path because it was your destiny. Okay? And so for some of you, it could go either way. I mean, if you were in a relationship that you shouldn't have been in anymore and you were trying to hold on to it because you have this thing about that, then it could have jarred you and separated you. Or if you were not giving enough love to a relationship and you really wanted this relationship, you're going back and forth, and it was time for you guys to come together, you could have jarred it that way too. If you were trying to move and you weren't sure, and you know, you just have a lot of things that I feel like were a little jarring for you in this 12th house of your lunar eclipse. Okay, that energy is going to be going on for the next 45 days. So the lunar eclipse is about completions. It's about understanding. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you. Okay. Now with the solar eclipse, this is about new beginnings. This is about revitalizing. This is about the energy of manifesting the goals and the things that you're wanting, right? So, or the things that you kind of see in your head and you have inspiration about and you create, right? Now, if I look at you, Virgo, right here, you're the first. This is your first house. So whether you're sun, moon, or ascending, or rising, whichever you want to call it. So this is your first house. And if I look, Aquarius, the eclipse is happening at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's happening in your 6th house. And then the lunar, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's how I know that, right? So, with the happening in your sixth house, it has the energy of Aquarian. By the way, the lunar energy has the energy of Leo. So you're going to be working it in that way, right? You're keeping your heart open. You're being courageous in this. You're making the decisions you want to or need to, and you're getting this done in your 12th house when things come to you. In your sixth house, Aquarian energy is very different energy. Aquarian, I'll give you a couple characteristics of Aquarian energy. Aquarian energy likes to bring things together. Aquarian energy knows how to give people what they want and need. But they like to connect everything and everyone together to bring the whole to a newer vibration, right? To a more evolved vibration. So Aquarians are very sociable and they're very sweet, extremely intelligent. They're quirky. They love science. They have a futuristic belief because they know the future. They know they can remember like 150 years ahead. Okay. So their issue is bringing that, learning how to live in this society, and bringing some of the 150-year-old society or 50-year-old society into incorporating it in here to make humanity better, to evolve humanity. I wouldn't even say to make humanity better. It's to evolve humanity. Okay. So they love science and technology. They're very old souls. They're eccentric and quirky. But this is the thing, is they will test. They like to test things. They like to test the universe. They like to test people. And they'll test themselves too. They test. That's what they do. So with this solar eclipse happening in your sixth house, it's a little bit about Aquarians. Oh, I'm sorry. The lower vibration or the lower octave of Aquarian, or the lesser evolved Aquarian, or you can call them a young Aquarian, can be really heartless. They can be cynical. They can be cold. They can be moody and distant and detached. And they have a fear of intimacy. And they have a fear of attachment. Okay? Like they have this bigger understanding that we don't need to necessarily consciously attach. Right? So they have this fear when they're younger about it. But as they grow and have their experiences here on Earth and learn to be more human, then they have a better understanding. Right? And so that's a little bit of the characteristics of Aquarius. Now, it's happening in your sixth house, Virgo. And I know that you guys have been going through a lot with that 12th house. You've isolated a little bit. Things had jarred you. Things were happening. You had some changes in your life. And you're trying to cope. You're trying to figure it out, right? That's that North Node in that Leo. Now, in the sixth house is about your daily routine, your work, your health, your neighbors. And this is the thing. It's about getting support from others, okay? So even though this 12th house might make you want to isolate and figure it out on your own because you want to control it, this sixth house is here to help you understand and expand in your daily activities, in your daily life, in how we have the reality of our day-to-day stuff, our work, our health, right? And the people around us. Now, this is the thing, Virgo. You have no problem organizing and working in your day-to-day work. The issue is that you want to control it and do it all yourself. And then you can become a victimized, or you can become a victim in this house. Like that's the lower vibration of, well, I always give to everybody and I'm always doing and I never say no. And then when I need something, I never get it. Nobody's ever around, blah, 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 blah. Like that can be the sixth house if you're not working well in it, if it's not balanced, okay? So with you guys, I can feel that this is about you understanding that you are not alone, even though some of these things happen to you in the 12th house. This is part of your growth to understand that you're not here to be alone. You're not here to control it all. You can, but when you control it all, then you're missing the bigger picture of the beautiful surprises that can come to you, right? And what you learn in this house is that, yes, you do give all of your effort and you do give all your energy and you do never say no, right? But nobody made you do it. Nobody told you to do it. And if you wanted something in return, then when you did something, you should ask for something in return. Otherwise, don't do it. Like that's part of, like if your intention is, I'm going to do this, but I expect something in return, then tell them that. Right? It can be a symbiotic relationship. But this is what you're sort of moving into, that direction of understanding, right? That you have boundaries, that you have to say no sometimes, that you can't do everything, and that you really don't want to control everything, because you really want somebody to surprise you and bring something to you from their heart, right? So this is what the sixth house is about, and this is what I can see you working through. Now, what I like about the sixth house for you with this eclipse is this Mercury. So Mercury is conjunct, which means that they're between 8 and 10. Anything between 8 and 10 degrees is conjunct for me, but I like 8 degrees. So they're conjunct just means that they're having a conversation, and this conversation means that they have to work together so that they can help you expand and do what they can in this house for you, okay? So remember, you're going to be handling it like an Aquarian. So you can take that side of, I'm going to be testing people, or you can take that side of, I see the bigger picture, right? That's very Aquarian energy. Okay, so Mercury is the planet of communication and processing. So I can see where this is going to come through for you. Even though you've been jarred with this 12th house, this fated stuff, this destiny stuff, even though I can see where you're going to let people in, where you're going to be working on this, okay? Now, in your 7th house of relationships, I want to go over that really quickly. Your 7th house of relationships has Venus, Neptune, and it's the house of Pisces right now. So it's very Piscean, very Venus, very beautiful. You're seeing relationships. Like when this happens, you can tend to see relationships through rose-colored glasses and not seeing the reality of it, right? But sometimes you Virgos are too much in reality, and you need that lighter rose-colored glasses so that you can move forward and see that people really do want to be around because they want to be around, not because you need to save them or not because you need to heal them, right? So with Venus here and Saturn here, so Saturn's in your 5th house of romance, love affairs. With Venus here, this is a sextile. So sextile to me is opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. So I can see where if you're ready for a partner, if you're ready to have somebody come in your life for a serious relationship, I can see where an opportunity will come in because of Saturn. Saturn really wants, this is love affairs, but Saturn wants you to work for it, right? But Saturn will bring all this fantastical, fantasy, airy, ethereal kind of energy. It will ground it with the sextile. So I can see an opportunity for some of you to really move to the next level with somebody, or for somebody to come into your life and really work on this, right? And Saturn will bless you when you work on this. Saturn will bless you, okay? So I think that's all I'm going to go over with you guys so my voice doesn't go out. So the next thing I want to talk about is this spread that I did. I did it for 3 months. So give me just a second as I move and expand it. And let me know if you like this new format in the comments below, guys. And I'll also remember I have those videos for the new moon, the full moon, and the solar eclipse that happened 6 months ago, and the lunar eclipse that happened 6 months ago. I'll have the links to all that below. If you're wanting a reading with me, or you want to go over your chart, whether it's your natal chart, your progression, your transits, talk about your houses, I'll have the link to my website down below as well. So, pardon me, I'm going to have to call. Yeah, and I'm drinking tea and lemon and honey and all kinds of stuff, so it's just not helping. It's when it goes, it goes. All right, so in your first position, you have the 4 of Wands. So this is your position right now. I see you being very stable in the things that you have and that you want and where you are. So even if you've been jarred, I can still feel the stability that you have. It's almost like, very good, Virgo. I can see this, where even though something happened or something may have been a little, trauma to you, you were like, I've worked hard for this. This is what I have, and I'm going to stay right here, right? And so that's a good thing, but then what it can do is it can make you complacent. because maybe in that area you're supposed to grow more, but because you're being a little stubborn and set in your ways, you want to stay right where you are. Okay, so that's your position right now. What's crossing you? I can't, this cursor, you can't see it when I put it on there, but what's crossing you, and that Spirit's advice, this is the Seven of Wands right to the left of it. So the Seven of Wands, and this is why I said this about the Four of Wands. The Seven of Wands is about you really taking a stand for what's yours, for what you believe in, for what you want. And so they're saying, even though you're stable and you feel good and you're okay with where you're at, that's great. But we don't want you to get complacent, because we heard what you want. There are things that you want in your life. There are hopes, there are dreams, there are these things you want to manifest. And to do that, you need to stake your claim. You need to fight for what you want. You need to, even if it's not what everybody's saying, even if it goes against the grain, like most of you, especially if it goes against the grain, okay? It's important for your soul to grow the way that it's going to grow. So you need to listen to you, right? And so that's their advice, is if you want something, stake your claim. Say it's yours. Do the energy, push the energy into that, or move the energy into that. And even if it's going against what everybody says, okay? So in your third position below the Four of Wands, this is where you came from. So you came from the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is all about dealing with somebody that was from your past. Now, this could be from past lives too. You'll know, because this is a person that you thought, like, you meet them and you're like, oh, wow, I feel like I've known that person all my life. That's that. But it's also has to do with karmic situations, fated destiny situations. And that's what you were dealing with that brought you to this Four of Wands, which puts you in a very stable position of, maybe you worked through some of this stuff, maybe you let some people go, maybe you stood some of your ground, and now you're feeling more stable. And they're saying from that point, it's time to move forward into the hopes and dreams that you're wanting. That means stand up and claim it, okay? Now, in your fourth position, I did this spread for 3 months, so the fourth position is to your left, and that is now to 1 month. We can be off a couple of weeks, but now to 1 month is the Nine of Cups. So I feel like there's a lot of celebration with you guys in the next month. I feel like your cups will be full. I feel like you'll be spending time with family and friends. I feel like you're really, really looking for that support in your sixth house. You really are. I can feel that. So I can feel where you're kind of testing people too, though. But the next month, it looks like there'll be happier times. It'll be time to celebrate for some of you, and spend time with family and friends, okay? And maybe even a new loved one if you meet them, okay? Now, in your fifth position above the Four of Wands is the Five of Wands. You guys have a lot of wands, so it's about action for you guys in this next 3 months. So the Five of Wands, that position to me is when I ask your higher self, what is the one message they want to bring through to help you move forward in love? The Five of Wands. And again, it's like the Seven of Wands. It's like you're going to win at what you want. You just need to fight for it. You need to say, this is what I want. Not say, oh, I want this. No, maybe I want that. No. And then like kind of go back and forth and back and forth. They're saying, stand up and say what you want. Stand up and claim what's yours, right? So the message from your higher self is, if there's something that you're wanting badly enough that you want to bring it into your reality, then stand up for your rights. Stand up for you. Stand up, even if it's different, because I'm getting that it's different than what you would normally do, or your thought is different than what people would expect of you. And they're saying, stay in that, be confident and trust your path. Trust yourself to know that you're on the right path, okay? So that's what I'm getting from you guys for the fifth position. Now, the sixth position is to the right of the Four of Wands, and that's for month 2 and 3. So I feel like when you do these things, as you're letting go, as you're releasing, as you're getting help, as you're learning how to be a community with people, still keeping your own identity and still keeping your time alone so that you can regenerate. But as you're doing this, I feel like in month 2 and 3, as you're taking actions and standing up, you'll get an offering. And this offering is very passionate. It's something that you're wanting to come into your life. That's very different for a lot of people because this has to do with your day-to-day, daily activity. That could be your work. That could be your gym time. That could be your family time. This is your day-to-day, daily routine, your work, and your health. Right? So with this night comes an offering, and it's very passionate. And it has to do with whatever your focus is in. So it's different for everybody, right? And that's what you'll be dealing with in the next month 2 and 3. So in your 7th position, this is your fear. So your fear, and to me, a fear is there to remind you of what you want, of what you don't want. And so what we do is we look at what we want, right? So we see what we don't want, and then we say, well, I don't want that, so I'm going to come over here and concentrate and focus on this, what I want, right? So your 7th position is the Page of Coins. And I feel this a couple of ways. Your fear is, will I ever achieve more than just the page status? Which means, well, that can mean in love too, in romance too. But I'm feeling like you've been working hard to get to this place where you have a lot of abundance, and it didn't seem to be coming through. And so you're afraid that it's going to be too much work and too much energy, and you just don't have that within you, right? But that's just a fear. The other thing is, I feel like some of you are wondering if the king will ever come in, or if the queen will ever come in, or if somebody that's ready, willing, and able to love you will, right? Or will it always just be those pages, someone to entertain you, someone that doesn't really, they're there to make you laugh and smile, but are they really serious? No, because they don't have enough experience, right? So that's your fear. In your 8th position, this is the way a loved one will be viewing you or dealing with you. For some of you, this is the universe saying. You have the 7 of Swords. And the 7 of Swords is about you taking a step back, right? And some of you, this is the way that a loved one sees you. So you did this, where you took a step back to sort of gather some more information, to sort of reconnect with yourself, and to sort of see what your next steps are, right? And so that's how they're seeing you, and they're dealing with you that way. So some of you, they're respecting your boundaries, but they're wondering why you isolated yourself, right? For others of you, this is the universe saying it is time to maybe step back just a little bit and reconnect. Just reconnect. Make sure that you know where you're going. Make sure to check in with yourself. Make sure that you're viewing where you want to go. Keep your eye on the prize. And that's what you'll be dealing with in the next 3 months. Now, in your 9th position, this is your hopes and dreams. But I call it the energy that you're calling into you, right? So it's the outer energy that's coming in. So you have the 5 of Swords. So I feel like for some of you, you're wondering if they're ever going to be able to have not just a romantic relationship, but maybe partnerships, maybe business partnerships, maybe family members, maybe friends. Are there people around you that won't hide stuff from you? Are there people around you that will be so honest with you? Like you're honest with them, so you're expecting them to do that to you, right? So that's what I feel like your hopes and dreams are. You want to be with people and around people that are kind of transparent, that have a lot of integrity and honor. That's what I feel. And for some of you, I do feel like there are situations that you have that that there are maybe lies around you, or not truths being told, or somebody being secretive. I feel like you feel that, and I feel like that energy is going to come to light where you're going to get the truth about what's going on, okay? So, pardon me again. All right, so in your 10th position, you have the 9 of Wands. The 10th position is all about the overall outcome of what you'll be working through in the next 3 months. So the 9 of Wands is about you understanding your position, where you're at, and sort of taking a break because you kind of like where you're at. And, it's time to rest because you like where you're at. You have to move. You have to grow. Eventually you're going to have to leave either this situation or this person or this place. But right now, you're kind of tired. You're tired. You've been through a lot lately, and you kind of just want to rest, and you kind of just want to see things for what they are. And that's the way I feel like you'll be seeing and feeling and understanding the world and the people and situations around you in your day-to-day life. Okay? I hope that makes sense. I hope it didn't confuse you. Again, I will have all the links below or here on the side at the end of the video. Remember tonight or this afternoon at your eclipse, all day I want you to be thinking about your goals, where you see yourself, how you see your life. Do not think about how people have done you wrong and what hasn't happened. Okay? Because then it's going to launch you into that. All right. I love you, love you, love you. Please consider subscribing if you like what you see and you're brand new. Bye.